Welcome to this crew, this generation of founders of this chapter of Peace First, the bridge leaders, the folks who are helping to take Peace First through this interesting chapter of transition from not just from my leadership to the next leadership, but with your own leadership, continue to help this movement from the central organization of Peace First to localizing our work. One of the visions of the fellowship program, and I think one of the challenges for a global organization, is how to take the ideals and tools of something like Peace First and have them come alive locally. And I think about regions as diverse as Sub-Saharan Africa, where you've got dozens, if not hundreds, of local languages, complicated political spaces, let alone Asia and Oceania, which probably should be, 30 different regions. How have the two of you thought about that localization work, and maybe an example or two of how that works on the ground?
The ability to really localize and make our own strategies has been really helpful. And the other thing that's been extremely helpful for me has been collaboration, forming partnerships with organizations who are on the ground and giving them the resources, the training to go and lead our programs and to train the young people in their communities, in their own languages, with their own cultural context based on the knowledge that we provide them, rather than us going in. So partnerships have been really helpful. And the other thing, the really big thing has been the grantee community and the ambassadors that we have.
Number one, you've got to be patient. I think for a place that's like diverse like Sub-Saharan Africa, you have to be aware of the diversity in all the forms. Number two is access. Number three is the languages, the proficiency of the languages. So especially when most of our offerings were tailored in English. But then again, it presents an opportunity because we tend to form a strategy where we have people on the ground, we call them ambassadors, and also other volunteers to help in some of these translations.
Paula and Gael, you started as fellow in residence. You're now leading communications and storytelling. Talk about your journey within Peace First and what that has been like.
So for me, a key part of this experience of Peace First has been Peace First understanding where I am and where I want to be, and where Peace First can lend me a hand to bridge that space between those things. So the fellowship was amazing. I loved it. It was great. But was there something that I could do that could bring my talents to the team in a different way and where I could learn even more? And so that's really where that transition came from, and from me really being able to say, hey, I wish I could do advocacy. Is there a space for that? And the team at Peace First saying, sure, if you think you can do it, we can make space for that.
This was one of a kind experience because coming from a pharmacy background, Peace First gave me this responsibility and this trust to lead the work in digital marketing and in communication. And this was a big deal for me. And the fact that Peace First provided me with this playground for me to explore and experiment my talents, even if that meant that I was probably gonna do a lot of mistakes. But it also showed that Peace First valued my learning journey and capitalized on that.
I think it's fair to say that nothing represents the strength and struggles of Peace First more than our platform. When you have moved into a leadership role of working to create a platform that's worthy of our young people, talk about that journey.
So for me, the platform was, like I said, in my own journey, I came in as a young person who really just wanted to learn things about how to get my initiative from where it was to, scaling it or moving it further so that I can make more impact in my community. And the platform was the first place I was really directed to. So I went to peacefirst.org. I got there and then stumbled on this very journey that I could walk from start to finish, creating a project and accessing several resources on that one platform before I even had the opportunity to meet someone face to face who held me by the hand and then walked me through that journey. This has been my major priority since I came on this role, trying to really hear what our young people are saying, trying to really hear what members of staff are saying, and then translating those needs into building a technology platform that not only brings us together, that not only provides a community for us, but also provides a very seamless, easy experience to the work that we're already doing, which is to create change in our communities or in our societies. I'm really looking forward to seeing young people use it, really looking forward to hearing the different experiences that we got from this platform. If at the end of this experience, we're able to build a platform that hosts a community of young people, that provides resources that are easy to find, easy to use, and that is also functional, not just for young people, but for also members of the Peace First staff. And I think that we would have been able to achieve our goal for even trying to use technology or involve technology in this process in the first place.
Tatiana, the UK has been heartbreaking in terms of, as has the US, in terms of feeling like we put a ton of effort out there without a ton of uptake. How you've approached that thinking, what's been hard about the work you've undertaken there, and some of the insights from that.
But I had to be very intentional about understanding the landscape. I had to be intentional about comparing the work in the UK compared to the work that we do in all the other regions. And whilst I was interrogating that, I came to the conclusion that perhaps things are different and hard in my region because the UK is a developed nation. It is in the global north. For me, yeah, the challenge has been, okay, I need to change the way I see success in social justice, in change making.
Yusra, you are, among many things, a passionate advocate for youth-led social entrepreneurship. I'd love for you to share a favorite project that you've helped support as a fellow.
It's the story of Sharif Hajjaj. Sharif is a young Egyptian guy who grew up as an artist. Art lessons were very expensive, and young people from unprivileged communities and families were not able to get access for those art lessons. So that's why he created this project, a sketch, a piece, where he focused on young people from marginalized backgrounds to give them art lessons and to help them in creating their own artwork. In October last year, I got the chance to have a work trip to Egypt where I got to meet Sharif in person and I got to visit him in his art gallery. And I was really surprised by the amount of artworks, the beauty, the kids, and the involvement and development that he was able to do, starting from a very small art corner to a very big art gallery that he established. And I just was reflecting with him on how did Peace First help you in making this happen? Is it the money? Is it the mentorship? Is it the social media? And the first thing that he told me was, it's that you believed in me. That's something that you don't find everywhere. So I believe that's what we do in Peace First in Stories. It's just that we believe in young people in a time where people don't. And that's what we try to do every day, and that translates in hundreds of different amazing stories around us.
I am excited to spend some time with young people from around the world who have taken up the Peace First Challenge, who have created projects, who've worked to make their communities stronger, safer, who have struggled, learned, and contributed to our Peace First community.
In a society which we often feel like young people have no voice, Peace First creates this opportunity, and it's not only a grant, but it's like a person saying, I trust you, I trust your project, I believe in what you want to do, and I will give you the tools and the opportunity to be successful so that you can develop your potential, your ideas, and actually make an impact on your community. Like creating like that reality you're angry about and the reality you want to live in.
Through the help of Peace First, I was able to get a grant and start my project, which is entitled Lingaw Kakibalo. So it translates into learning while also getting entertained. So it's a social project that aims to develop and improve the social awareness of the community. Through the project, I have learned that how Peace First value the struggle, and also how young people could create change in their respective communities.
I feel like finally I can find the space where I can I don't have to put so many time on it, but I can make peace, not just in Jordan. Like I can make peace and know peacemakers in different countries in the world. I have a chance to work with the children who's in SOS village in Jordan, and it's like the most amazing opportunities I have ever had صراحة. لأنه in 14 years working in a community service, it's my first time I feel like I do something for the people who need, like it's a 100% is needed. So I did it through Peace First. So yeah, I guess that's like a small story about my journey with Peace First.
Imagine that a young person in our community reached out to you and asked for advice on how to get started on their change-making journey, and you could share one sentence of advice. What would you say to them?
Nobody can approach change-making and change in your community the way that you can, so do it.
You don't have to change the world to be impactful. It's enough for you to change the world of one person, and that's still amazing, and that's very impactful.
What injustice or like situation that makes you angry that you can see in our community or in society in general? When I started my project personally, it started from anger, from what I have seen in the Philippines, the battle between disinformation, misinformation, and the revision of our history. So it came from anger, and then we crafted it towards hope.
Just do it, try it. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be challenging, but if you believe in it and if you're convinced that it can help at least one person, just do it.
What I'm most excited for Peace First in this next chapter is all the things that I don't know, all of the vision and creativity that is yet to be.